Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sisters Speak. Today you are joined on the show with me, Sonia, and
It's Be Free. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
yes, it's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
Before we go into it, would you like to tell our listeners what Sisters Speak is about?
Sure. So, Sister Speak is a platform for Muslim girls to voice our own opinions and just talk about things, random things, and issues as well, like politics and Islam. Please note all opinions and views are our own, and we respect all other views or opinions.
Lovely, thank you so much. And if you would like to get in touch with us or join the show, you can listen in on Inspire 105.1 FM. We are also on Facebook Live, and we also have an Instagram where we'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions and just for you to keep up to date with us, and that's at Sisters Speak, right?
Yeah.
There's no underscore.
There's no underscore.
Okay.
It's a simple one.
Lovely, thank you so much. But this is a pre-recording, so it's not live at the moment. Today we're going to be speaking a little about two things. So the first half of the show, we're going to be speaking about going back to school, going back to any form of education because it is September. And the second half of the show is completely different. We're going to be talking about a charity arts organisation that's based in Luton and just talking about fun opportunities and free things that they have going on in Luton. I'm going to go straight into our student, it's Fareen. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of me asking you.
That's all right. I'm going to ask you about your experience because you have been in education, even though you
long time ago.
It. Yeah. You still have.
Just from the beginning, are you excited or nervous going back to school?
I'm so excited to go back to uni. I think I'm
Yes.
so excited to go back. I feel like this summer, because when you're in uni, you finish so early. I finished in May. Normally you would finish.
Depends if you have exams and dissertation.
Yeah.
And
So my last
right?
exam was in May, and I've just been at home. I couldn't find a job. You know how the market is everywhere. So no summer job, nothing like that. I'm just at home. Been sitting at home. I'm really, really bored. My family obviously, they traveled, but I was taking care of my brother and stuff like that. So I didn't really have a great summer, to be honest. So I'm excited to go back into my own little room, my space.
You have your routine, don't you? You're going back to the routine. It's funny that you say that because I remember being in school and you look so forward to the summer holidays.
I know.
And also out in the real world, quotation marks, we don't have summer holidays. So I have to work throughout summer or I have to take annual leave. And so I value summer holidays. I miss it. I believe the whole country, Prime Minister, if you're listening, the whole country should have summer holidays, no matter what sector you work in. But then you're saying you're excited to go back to university.
I completely agree with you. When I was doing my GCSEs, I was like, I can't wait for it to. Or when I was in sixth form, my first year of sixth form, I was like, oh my god, I have to study till this 22nd of July or something like that. And I was working at that time, so I had a job during summer. But now that I haven't been doing anything in summer, I'm like, oh my god, I just can't wait to go back. And my sister actually, she's like you, she's in the working sector now, so she has to take annual leave and stuff like that. And she's like, I just want to be sit at home like you,
and do nothing. But I get it; it's routine and structure. Yeah. But I have this quick fire round. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you. It's really silly,
okay.
But I'm gonna go quick fire, which means you don't even have a second to think. Okay. Pencils or pens?
Pens.
Break time or lunchtime?
Lunchtime.
Group project or solo project?
Solo project. Group project. You
can expand. Yeah.
I'll say solo project because I like to be on my own terms. But I would say group project if it's someone I'm doing it with friends. But with people that you don't know, I feel like in uni you're literally talking with full-on adults, young adults. So
you are an adult too.
Yeah. So you might think that me, if I'm in a group project, I know I have a sense of responsibility of we have to get this project done. There's people that don't and don't take it seriously, and I'm not they're not a child, I'm not going to be you have to do this, this is our group project, but you have to when they're not doing anything.
But then you all get graded, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There are so many memes about group projects.
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
That one person in the group project that doesn't do anything.
Then at the end, in the last week, they'll be like, hey guys, what do we have to do? And they're like, we finished already.
And it's super unfair because then you all nearly if you all want to pass, right? So you're going to do well and they might just get a good grade off the back of your work that you've done. So I get that. But sometimes it's nice to share the workload.
Yeah, I completely agree. But I got so lucky this year that I made friends over my group project and it was so nice. And because I'm doing computer science, by the way, for people who don't know, we had to work on a robot and that robot has to move. So we need everyone's codes to make that robot
Hold
move.
on.
Yeah.
You work on a robot?
Yeah, so we have one robot and we have to make it like move and stuff like that. So we can't do that with only one piece of code. Everyone needs to chip in, and then we can make it move.
Yeah.
So it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was really, really hard, but it was good that everyone in the group was like involved in it.
Yeah, you had a good group.
I
Is
did.
it like school? Can you tell, like, miss, this person's not partaking, this person's not getting involved?
You can, but they won't do anything about it. I feel like in uni you're so independent now.
Yeah.
They'd be like, okay, like you just have to do something. You have
need
to cover
manage it.
Yeah,
because it's like the real world, isn't it?
you'll have to do the workload for that missing person, basically.
No way. We need to get back to the robot thing. You just dropped that so casually, like, we need to make the robot move. What? But yeah, two more. Would you like to prefer to get a bus or walk to school?
Walk to school.
Even in the rain?
Yeah, I honestly love walking. You know why? Because you just like just empty thoughts. I love it so much, and I always think about what I'm gonna do, and it's also so healthy. Now that I live on campus, I'm not doing any walking because I'm like
lazy.
Yeah, I'm a lazy person. Honestly, I'm so lazy. So when I was in sixth form, I had the excuse of, oh, my dad's working, he can't drop me off, so I just have to walk it. And I used to love it so much, even though it was raining. It was empty thoughts.
It's exercise, isn't it?
Yeah, and I could see everyone around me like also walking, so it made me feel like included, like part of something. And I would see the same like bus going by or the same person that they're going to this school and stuff like that. It was just so nice. And now it's not the same because I'm on campus.
Okay, so you need to get active is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah. And the gym is not the same. I don't know, because you go to the gym and stuff, it's not the same when you're walking on like a treadmill or something like that. It's just like machinery.
I actually prefer doing non-gym exercise now, if that makes sense. I've gone through all the phases. Classes are always fun. Because I just like a leader and a whole like 30 of you doing the same thing. Nature walks or just walks across the road, like walking on the road, like, you know. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of pure like just gym anymore.
Yeah, or like trekking. I've been trekking this so many times. I went to Snowdon in Wales.
Oh, wow.
It was so nice, and I think it was during my exam, so it was just a like nice break and to go like in the nature, and we walked so much.
Did you get to the top?
Not the top. I got to the top. But if anyone's been to Snowdon, you know there's like two kind of tops. So there's a top for like people that couldn't do it like me because it was getting late, and there's like the top. That's where my brother went.
I think you should go back.
I have to go back. We have to go back.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I have been as well, and I think just the scenery
is so nice,
gorgeous. Sometimes you think this is where I live. Like,
I know, right?
It's a 3-4 hour drive from me. So yeah, another question I had is because I used to take the train and the underground a lot because I studied in London, and I actually love it. Like, it's weird because you tell people and they're like, if I could take a car, I'd obviously drive, then pick a public transport. But I don't know what it was. It was the thought of, first of all, I'm not in charge. I can turn my brain off to an extent. Like, you know, I don't have to watch the road or, I don't know, think. I don't need to think that much. I can literally just put my headphones in or read a book. So that was the first thing. Second thing is, I felt like it bought me time. Like, when else am I going to read a book or even watch a film on my phone? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it was like, it bought me time. So most people hate commutes and public transport, but like, what are your thoughts on that then?
I completely agree with you. You know why? Because you're not wasting any time first because you're commuting somewhere. All that time, like, it's an hour from here, let's say, to London. In that hour, you can do so many things. I used to like read stuff like you said. Like, I never read at home. Yeah. And I used to read like Reddit posts, and it's just, I didn't even scroll on social media. Like, it was so weird. I used to search up like so many random things. I even searched up things about like Islam.
Yeah,
and on Google,
that time, didn't it? Yeah. To do that. Like, it's unlikely you're going to sit at home and do it. But when you're traveling, you're like, oh, I've got finally like some free time on my hands. Yeah.
And honestly, when I was sitting on the train, sometimes I would just like to see all the people that are walking in, like
people
where
watch.
they're stopping. Yeah. I'm one of those people. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh my, where's everyone going? That girl, she's so nice. Oh, she got off at this stop. Like,
I used to make up stories about people, right? See, it gives you a chance to be creative. Yeah.
I used to do with my sister. It's so funny. We used to do like the Metropolitan line to go to uni, and we memorized all the like the train stops. So every time we would go back home, we were like, okay, this one's gonna come as well. It was just a fun like sister time as well.
Great. I mean, I don't know. I'm not recommending this, but you could go to sleep. But because you feel the stops, you know how far you are from home.
I know it's St. Pancras because everyone's getting off. Yeah, so that's when you're
rush and you're like, okay, start waking up. But obviously be vigilant of your surroundings if you are on public transport, you know. But yeah, I agree with you. And I kind of miss it because I don't do it all the time now.
Yeah.
And you do miss it. It's such a big part of your life, isn't it?
It is.
Like public transport and traveling.
I mean, I don't miss the like paying side of it.
Of course. It's really getting extortionate.
But funny story, by the way, when one time me and my sister were coming back home from uni, this girl, like, she lost her purse and stuff like that. We opened her purse, looked through her provisional license, and she was from Luton.
No way. So
Yeah.
what did you do?
She was in my sixth form, like in my year.
Oh,
so
you actually knew
it was a friend of a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
So then we like arranged the whole thing, and then she came to Brunel. She got her purse, and I hope she was
Oh.
doing good life. She was so nice. She wasn't
She
even
must have been
worried.
so grateful though.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
It was so nice because we were from Luton, so it wasn't even like I have to travel somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a
It's
good
a funny
wholesome story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
I like
remember
when very rarely you hear people lose things and then get it back.
I know, right?
Like if you lost a phone, you'd probably think that's it. Like,
it
let me
was her
just give
phone,
up.
bro,
Her
and her purse.
phone?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, how could you be so irresponsible?
Yeah. Get the strap on. Get the pouch.
Especially in London. I think it was like 8 p.m.
She's lucky you guys were there.
She was so
Like
lucky.
a guardian angel for her. That's lovely. But yeah, so I've just got one more. PE or art? How is that?
PE. I loved PE. It's my favorite subject. I don't think I'm a really good, like, my sister's a really good artist. Like, she knows how to draw and stuff like that. I like to do it when there's no pressure on it. Like when there's no grade.
Just free, like
just free,
fun, free.
Yeah.
So physical education.
Tell
us why you liked it.
Oh my god, you don't know. I had the greatest PE teacher in Spain when I was in Spain. Like through high school, PE was my favorite subject. We used to have it first thing in the morning, every Thursday and every Tuesday. Loved it so much.
Do you like any sports in particular? Is there any games?
We used to play. I don't know what it's called. Like it's like cricket, but not like with the bat.
Not with the bat.
Not with the bat. It's just.
So what do you use?
So instead of like hitting it with the bat, you just hit it with your leg. So you just kick it, basically.
Wow, what an interesting game.
Yeah, I don't know what it was called, but
and then you run like the usual
then
run,
you run, yeah,
and
then use the cones.
Wait, is it like rounders?
Maybe, I don't know what it's called in English. Maybe it's that one.
Yeah, but rounders we still have a bat.
No, we don't have a bat.
I miss PE.
It was a safety issue
though. Yeah, because at least a safety issue. At least in school, like even if, do you know what I mean? Like you're in an environment where there's already 12 or 30 of you in the class, so you're forced to play with each other and you guys do it. Whereas now in the real life, I'm like, where can I find 15
and we have
people
to pay.
play with me? We have to pay.
We have to pay to play at this
sports halls or an AstroTurf or a field or something. Yeah, it's hard. Please, can we find, if anyone's listening right now and you're a girl and you're interested in sports or just fun, rounders, badminton,
message us on Sister
Speak. Contact us, Inspire FM or Sister Speak, because I am dying to play rounders or badminton or any kind of games, and I just don't have people. Not enough. I mean, what were you going to play? Tennis.
Oh my god, I love to play paddle. You know the one where you just hit
like the table. Paddle. What is that called? Squash.
Oh, is it called squash?
When you hit the
we
wall
call it paddle.
with a big tennis racket.
So it's like two people and just hit a wall and then just do that.
Tennis rackets are so much heavier than I expect them to be. I don't know why. Maybe I'm weak.
We should play. There's a tennis racket. There's a tennis court in
Moordown Park.
Yeah,
that is free.
We should just book that.
Basketball. Do you remember
basketball?
I love basketball.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. What about netball? Did you play netball?
No, I didn't play netball. Did you?
Yeah, it's a very it's still fun. It is still fun, but you can't move when you have the ball in your hand. You have to stay in one place. I think we spoke a lot about sports. Clearly, we both love it. So you're going back to university. Do you have any plans? Because you mentioned that you've been, lazy, sitting, in your accommodation, not really getting out there, not walking anymore. Any plans to join any clubs or societies or anything to get you moving?
Yes, I'm hoping to join these random classes that like the unis have, like Zumba classes or like basketball, like this one off, I don't know, they're dancing or something like that. Just keeps you going and keeps your body moving. That's what I'm expecting to do. I feel like I regret it so much not doing it in my first year, because that's when you supposedly have the time. Second year is the hardest. I've seen my sister do it. So I am hoping to do it this year because I know I'm going to be stressed. Now this September, I know that it's going to be really hard and I'm going to be busy all the time and I'm going to be like with my head down studying all the time. So it's going to be a nice, like once a week for 2 hours, let's say an hour and a half is going to be like a good thing to like.
Yes, you need that. It's not going to take up much of your time anyway. But yeah, you didn't join in first year.
No, I didn't do anything. I was just going to the gym by myself and honestly it felt so lonely. Even though there were girls there, I was just like, this is so boring. Like
some people can do gym. Like I used to be such a gym rat person, but then I'm not into that anymore. Like I like group activities.
Same.
Someone should yap on the side.
Yes, honestly, it's not even. It's like when you go gym, I don't like doing the gym stuff. So like let's say like weights, like stuff like I just like. We're just walking somewhere. I don't know. We're just hiking.
Or classes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, we mentioned mountain climbing as well.
Yeah.
Something we're gonna do again.
Yes, we are. And actually, the sports hall in my uni, they have that thing where you just climb it up. So I might just
like a mock.
Yeah, you know the things that like, I don't know what you call it. They have like handles and stuff like that. You just climb it.
Oh, like a rock climbing wall.
Oh yes, that's what it's
That's
called.
so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, see, these are the kind of things I would do. That seems like fun.
Yeah, so I think I was so stressed going into my first year because like it's my first year of uni. I want to make a good pressure. I want to have friends, stuff like that. Completely forgot about this, like so many things on campus that you can
Yeah,
do.
and you know, I'll tell you now, Farine, it's really hard once you're out of education and
Yeah.
you don't have that space. It's really hard to find things and to find people to do it with. Like, if I wanted to do rock climbing now, I'm sure I could search it, but off the top of my head, I don't know where to go. And I don't know, well, you know, it's so many things. Then, like, do I pay? Who's gonna be there? What do I need to wear? There's just so many things.
There's
to
so many
think
things,
about.
yeah. I feel like in uni, no one cares. Like you can just do whatever you want.
Good. Yeah, you make the most of that.
Yeah,
please.
that's what I'm gonna hope to do in this 4 years.
So I have another question, and hopefully we didn't already talk about it because you know, we've been talking for a while, but it's about back to school traditions and routines. So like in my house, a lot of us work in education. I don't, but we have like teacher assistant, or my younger sister is still in education. So when it's September, I can feel the air change in the house. Like there's just like a switch, and you can feel, all right, back to studying, back to school, summer's over, you know, all those vibes. I can feel it. So would you say you could, like, is there any routines that you guys have where you're like, summer's over now, let's go back to school?
Yeah, every single time when it was like the summertime, my parents have this like sleeping time routine. So they would wake up like a week before. They would wake us up early at like 8 a.m., which is when we would start. And this thing in my house that there's clothes everywhere, right? So when we start, we have to like clean our rooms. You organize your wardrobe.
Yes.
You do it in your house as well. You do everything like that. You get everything. You look for your bags, your pencil case. If you have to stock up on something, we'll do a week early. Like there's so many things involved. And because we do this many things, we don't celebrate my birthday. My birthday's on the 5th.
No.
Yeah, so my birthday's on the 5th and everyone's so stressed out. My sister's like, she's obviously on placement year. She's not going to do anything. My brothers are starting, one of them starting 6th form. The other one's starting year 5. And I'm just going to be at home with my parents. And this,
No,
everyone
you need
gets
to
so
get
busy.
your brothers involved, okay? They can help you with this.
I don't think they can. That's why we do it like the month after, when there's like half term week or something like that.
Okay,
Then we
yeah.
celebrate it there.
That's
Yeah.
all right. It doesn't matter. It's like
It
a
doesn't
whole
matter, yeah.
month of building up to Farine's moment.
Yeah, exactly. Because this first week everyone's so stressed out. I don't know.
It's a busy time. It's a busy time. But
Like you're saying, you feel the September air.
yeah. But I love September. I literally love it so much. And your birthday is in September, and so is mine.
Yeah, it's autumn time. You start changing the way that you dress and stuff like that as well.
Autumn, everything changes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what you said about the house and tidying, I resonate with that so much, because I don't know what happens over summer, but everyone just suddenly sprawls out. It becomes such a lazy time and like fun. Obviously, the weather's better, and now I'm just literally thinking about going back to my room today and tidying because everything's everywhere. And I'm not even starting school again, but September, maybe because we had 18 plus years of it, it just feels like the time where things are starting up again and you need to like focus up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely get what you mean. And it's like you're doing like the washing machine like routines, that you have to wash all your clothes out once. Because in summer you're sweating so much, so you keep like washing stuff like, but your uniform has been there for like what? Like
exactly.
3-4
You've not
months.
touched your uniform. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, back to school routine is definitely a thing. I have some more questions for you. It might be a bit early because you're still in second year. Well, you're just entering your second year of university. But have you thought about post education? Any plans for post education, or maybe studying more, going to work? What have you thought about
I spoke about it with my dad. I might do a master's in like again computer science or something related to computer science. I might do that, or I might take a year off and like work somewhere. I really want to work with like big companies. Obviously you have to start small sometimes, but I really want to be, I don't know, like software engineer or like data analyst, something like that, like let's say Amazon, Google, like
wow, that's really good.
Big adult jobs, inshallah. Yeah, but for now I think after education the first thing is a job or a master's, one of those.
Okay. Maybe a break? No?
No,
no time for breaks?
What did you do after you finished?
I did get a job straight away, actually. But it's because you feel this external pressure. It's not really there though. Like it's only you do it to yourself. But at the same time, I kind of wanted money. I feel like being a student just coincides with being broke all the time.
Yeah, it does.
So I think I just wanted some money, and but I did take it easy. Me and my friends. I wouldn't say it was a career job at all. And then I switched to something more serious. And what I would say to you is don't sell yourself short, because you said you have to start small and build your way up. Not necessarily. If you've got the
That's true.
skills, Farine, which you will have. Hello, you mentioned a robot. Do you think I'd ever understand how to program a robot? Like, I wouldn't. I literally, that doesn't make sense to me. That's crazy. So, like, don't sell yourself short. You can do things and you have skills that other people don't have. So, you can work for all these big
Oh,
companies.
thank you, Sonia.
You're welcome.
I completely agree. This external pressure, I never thought about it, but I feel like when even now, like everyone's, let's say, doing placement, it's such a stressful time. You're looking at everyone getting placements, like in this big companies. You're like, what am I going to do? My sister got her placement last minute. Like, there's so much pressure around it, to be honest.
Well, it's about what fulfills you. Like, don't always feel like it has to have a name to it and so on.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's good to have a comfort blanket, go with someone with a reputation, so you're going to be treated right in the workplace and so on. But you never know. You might be like pioneering a new thing. Like you might go to a company and they're like, "Wow, you're so amazing. Please, like let's give you a £50,000 increase in pay and so on."
Inshallah.
You just never know.
Yeah.
How are we doing for time? Sorry, I was just
We have
conscious.
5 minutes.
Okay, great. So a few more questions about back to school. Let me think. I mean, you can ask me any questions if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got one for you. This is about school, not
I'll think of
university, but back to school days.
All right.
Did you have a favorite teacher?
Yes, I did actually. My English teacher, this is when I was in Spain. I didn't have any favorite teachers when I was in.
That's okay.
I was in UK high school. His name is his name is Julian. He was my English teacher. I feel like he was, those teachers are just like friends.
Oh,
he was one of those, and
did you all do well in your class as well?
Yeah, because I feel like he was a favorite teacher of like everyone there. We had such a good dynamic in class. I never felt uncomfortable sharing my opinion. We would laugh all the time. A funny thing, we actually went, like, we have this how they have these trips when I don't know how you call it, like when you finish.
Oh, like the end of year trip?
Yeah, like end of year trip or something like that. So we went to Valencia, which has a place with like a beach.
Yeah.
So we went then. That's where I was graduating my like primary school, and I was going into high school.
Mm-hmm.
And he was it was a weird story, but that's where I was like, oh my God, like you're so amazing. Like we're gonna be friends. And then 4 years of high school, he always like, I remember when I was in high school, when my parents moved to the UK, I was by myself with my dad back in Spain. He would be like, if you need something, just let me know. I know you're here by yourself.
Really
like,
kind.
yeah, he was my favorite teacher. What about you?
Oh, first of all, that's really nice, and I think teachers have such a big impact on
They
us.
do.
Like I've left school ages ago, and I still remember my teachers. My favorite teacher, I've spoken about her loads of times. Her name's Miss Casey, and she was my drama teacher. But she taught us so much more than just acting and so on. But yeah, she was just the way she used to talk to us. I think she treated us like adults. In a way that was like, it wasn't patronizing. A lot of teachers, it really feels like they're shouting at us. Do you know what I mean? Like it's them and us and them. But it didn't feel like that with Miss Casey. And also, she got us out of our shells. Like, I know you didn't grow up in like Luton, but it can often be, you're very worried about your peers. Like, you're all such a close knit community. Everybody watches everyone. She broke that barrier completely. She was like, let's just have fun, do some learning, and maybe some acting along the way too. She taught us real world stuff too, like all the political and activist movement type things that I've ever learned has been with Miss Casey too. So yeah, I love her for so many reasons. She was a great teacher.
That's great. They make such the thing that we still remember about them is such a big thing, because I remember all my teachers, but I only remember them by name.
Yeah,
I don't have any like moments where I'm
sure
like,
we remember bad teachers too.
Yeah, we actually do. I had 2 favorite teachers actually. There was another one that was really, really old, but he was so young at heart. I think he was like in his moment to retire, but he was so funny. So there's 2 teachers, and I think
I used to love funny teachers.
Yeah,
there was best.
And it's funny when they don't think they are funny.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like that really dry humor, and I really like dry humor. So, and I'm still in contact with one of them. I actually follow him on Instagram.
That's good. Yeah, but when you become older and adults and stuff, you can connect on LinkedIn and so on. It's so bizarre. But yeah, I think we're coming towards the end of our show. But I have one more question. If you could change something from back in the day, school days, what would you change? Not about yourself, but about school.
the system. I I don't think I would change anything. I think everything was so good. The after school clubs were like there. Maybe what I would change. No, I don't think I would. I think everything.
Really, that's really amazing. Do you think you learned like to a good extent too? Like you got a lot of information, like it wasn't lacking in anywhere?
I don't think, academically, I feel like everyone in where I was living, everyone would say academically this school's not good, like you should go to another one. The school that I went to, it was like a primary and a high school as well. So it was 5 minutes away from my house, and all of my friends for high school, they were like, no, we're moving somewhere else, we're going to a private one. And I was like, I'm gonna stay here, this is where I'm comfortable. Academically, maybe it wasn't doing that good, but the diversity in that school and like the amount of events that they were to include everyone in diversity was so good. So I stayed there for the social side of it. But even academically, I did so good. And the academics, like in every school, it depends who you meet, I think. So in school, if you meet with like people that you think are bad influence, you obviously get influenced like that.
But a lot of the times it's your own responsibility, isn't it? It's how you study and spend your free time.
Yeah. Would you change something?
I don't know. I don't think we have enough time to go into that now. But yeah, no, I think I agree with you. I just think it's about yourself and how you spend your time in school. But yeah, thank you so much. This has been an amazing first half of the show. Like I said, we're speaking about school, back to school in the first half, and the second half is with Revoluton Arts, a charity arts organisation based in Luton, and they're going to tell us about fun, free activities happening. But yeah, thank you. Would you like to say goodbye?
Bye, everyone. If you want to see this, if you want to talk about this, you can message us on Sisters Speak on Instagram.
Yeah, and thank you for listening on Inspire 105.1 FM. Assalamu alaikum.
Stay informed, entertained, and engaged. Check out our new website, inspirefm.org.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sisters Speak. You are again joined with me, Sonia, and we also have
me, Fadeen.
We also have 3 guests with us on the show for the second half, as promised, and they are representing or here with Revoluton Arts, a fantastic arts organisation which we kind of touched on in the first half. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves, starting with Maria?
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria. I'm the senior producer at Revoluton Arts.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay. I'm the creative director and chief exec at Revoluton Arts.
Lovely. And Pauline, do we have you here with us?
Hi, yes, I'm Pauline Brown. I'm Luton born and bred, and I came across Revolution Arts, I think it was about 2 months ago when I was at the Luton Fairness Task Force, and I'm happy to be working with the team.
Lovely. I'm so happy to have you guys all on here. I wish we could have more time because there's so much that I would like to talk about as a person who has been involved with Revoluton Arts before. We did speak about the documentary that was commissioned from Revoluton on our show Sisters Speak. And also, of course, I'm involved as a community producer. But before we begin and get into the nitty-gritty, Farina actually has a lovely icebreaker for us all.
I have an icebreaking question for you all. So anyone who wants to answer, you can just go ahead. So if you could choose between reading a person's mind or reading the minds of animals, which one would you choose and why? Let's go with Lindsay and then we can...
I want to instinctively say animals. As someone who grew up with pets, various like cats, gerbils, rabbits, all kinds of things. It'd be quite nice to know what was going on in their minds and the minds of other animals across the planet. So yeah, animals for me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Just to know when they're meowing, why are you meowing, what do you need, and everything like that. Maria, what about you?
Yeah, I totally agree. I'd go for animals as well. My parents-in-law have a dog that I'm convinced already can read my mind. So I'd love to know if that was true, and this power would enable me to do that. So yeah, animals all the way.
Okay, and Pauline?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I'd say animals as well. Not really particular because I have any animals or come in contact with any animals, but I think I could pick up on humans, their spirits when you're around them and stuff. So I think definitely animals would be something to explore if I could read their minds. Yeah.
Completely agree. I think a person's mind is not going to be that interesting anyways. I feel like we'll have the same thoughts anyway. What about you, Sonia?
I would have usually said like a person's mind. But now that I think about it, it could be quite dark.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to know what other people are thinking. So I also now have a cat or a kitten, and it would just be amazing if we could communicate with each
yeah,
other. So
completely agree.
I would pick animal. But lovely, thank you so much for that icebreaker. Very fun, very random. I love it. So I'm just going to do a quick introduction, but it would be amazing if I could get it from you as well. Revoluton Arts is now also a charity, and it's an arts organization. I would say from my personal perspective, it is quite grassroots. We do nurture and look to growing Luton talent and just bringing things for the Luton community as well. But Lindsay, I think you have a great way of kind of phrasing how we want to put Luton on the map and show people where we are and what we do. So I'll let you give us a little small introduction if you can.
Cool, yeah, absolutely. So Revoluton's been going for nearly 10 years. So we started as a project in 2015 and we've been growing certainly over the last 3 years. And as Sonia said, we're now a charity, which is really exciting. That's a very new development for us. And our work continues to be absolutely rooted in Luton. You know, Luton as a place and the people of Luton are absolutely central to the work that we do. And it's across all art forms. And we're looking to project out what a great place Luton is. You know, we know how good it is. We know how great the people are. But, you know, there's more to share with the world in terms of the creativity that happens within Luton, but also, you know, the great things that happen within communities. So, yeah, that's our mission, is locating Luton in the world as a really exciting, globally representative place. But, yeah, as a place that people just need to know more about the great things that happen.
So thank you so much. And of course, we have limited time today. I would love to go into more about the core missions and values. But I think we want to talk about the fun, free stuff that happen in Luton that you guys bring for us. And, you know, you bring to Luton all these exciting things that often we don't get to hear about. Yeah, I mean, Farine, did you have a question about that?
So my question is, what kind of program or initiative is Public Trust?
So if I start off, but I think Maria is going to have loads of brilliant things to add here, and Pauline's working on this. So Public Trust is part of our programme of outdoor arts activities. We work in partnership with an organisation called festival.org, and they work around the country, but also internationally with artists to bring really exciting world-class outdoor arts events to the streets of towns and cities, places like Luton, where people might not ordinarily have opportunity to access world-class, you know, spectacles. This time we were working with an artist, Paul Ramirez Jonas, and Fierce Productions are a producing partner. But I'm going to hand over to Maria, because she is the one who's been in conversation really with the artist and the producing partner, and is the one who is leading this fantastic event and has already started some activities with communities. So over to Maria.
Yeah, no, Public Trust is really exciting. It's going to be with us this weekend, so Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th of September. It's quite different from what we've brought to Luton before. People might remember Dundu, the puppet that particularly travelled through Berry Park into the town centre. We've got some beautiful nighttime images and kind of videos you can find on our website. And Lampada Fora is a big kind of light up puppet parade. And Public Trust is a daytime event, first and foremost, and it basically invites Lutonians to come and make a promise either to themselves or to the town or to whoever they might like to. But you're guided through a creative promise making process. So there's a real kind of creative ritual that you're taken through by our brilliant team of local artists and facilitators to arrive at that promise. We've also got two brilliant local artists, a henna artist and a calligraphy artist, who are going to be supporting people to translate their promises into henna art designs or into a calligraphy art that they can take home with them. And really what we're excited about is the fact that, you know, we're at the start of a new academic year. We've recently finished a project which has been all about the history and heritage of Luton, and there'll be plenty more to come from that project undercurrent in the future. But what Public Trust does is invites the town at a really exciting moment to be part of collectively imagining what the town could be, and also collectively imagine what they might want to have within their own lives and their families' lives and all of those that they care about. And I think, if you were to sit at home and to write out a promise on a post-it note, how long is that really going to be at the forefront of your mind? But if you go through this creative promise-making process, you feel like you owe it to yourself to keep that vow that you've made, and you'll get to be in the beautiful location of Hat Gardens with hopefully incredible sunny weather whilst you're doing it. But what's brilliant as well is that we've been able to connect with more Lutonian artists and facilitators in the recent weeks in the lead up to Public Trust than we usually are when we bring these big pieces to Luton, because this piece is all about making sure that Lutonians deliver it for other Lutonians. And we've been thrilled to be working with Pauline on the workshops in the lead up to that, which have been happening at Luton Point. And also Pauline's going to be with us for the whole weekend as well, because one thing we know is that when you have these events, like you said, you don't always get to know about them. So we've been in Luton Point for quite some time, making sure that people can be part of the lead up to the promises, as well as hopefully come and join us on the weekend.
Thank you so much. I think that was a great description. And just to reiterate what you said, it is in Hat Gardens, which is in Luton Point. If people don't know where that is, it's on Bute Street, next to the Silver Street bus stops at the bottom of Luton Point. But yeah, you also mentioned Pauline, and thank you again for Pauline for coming on the show. I just had a question for you. What kind of motivated you to take the role of a creative facilitator for this project and for Revoluton Arts?
Thank you. Thanks for the question. Yeah, as I said, I met with Luton Fairness Taskworks a couple of months ago, and I really didn't know what was going on in Luton, especially on the creative side. And it was the very first time through Maria that I've heard about Revolution. And I love interacting with the public and with the community, just to see where they are, what their needs are, and to just get their feel about, have they heard of Revolution and stuff, because I hadn't. So I think the whole reason why I took it, I really wanted to get more involved and just to find out more about what's it about, and to really react with the community, and ask them what their needs were, and if they've heard of Revolution Arts before, which, to be honest, most of them hasn't. On Thursday, it was really good interacting with the young children and making the badges with them and getting to speak to their parents and building that relationships and just finding out about them and their community, and like they were telling me about the schools and the children, what they've done in the holidays. And, the children really wanted to come by and join in and to make those badges, and really looking forward to this weekend as well on Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, I really just wanted to get more involved in the local community, because I think since the lockdown, I'm asking myself, where was I? Where was I? How comes I don't know about these things? So yeah, I think we just retreated. And when you're working full time, I was fortunate enough to leave my job 2 years ago. So now I have a bit more time on my hands. So I'm just loving it, really getting involved. Thank you.
No, I think you made some really good points there, Pauline. I think we all get wrapped up in maybe our day-to-day lives, 9-to-5 jobs, or raising children, and you kind of think there's actually really cool stuff happening in town, things that I might be interested in. Where was I? Exactly. Why don't I know about it? Why am I not involved? So that's really good points. Thank you for that. And I think it's very valuable to hear from you, because you are, like you said, a Lutonian, and not necessarily directly every day with Revoluton Arts, but you dip in here and there as a creative facilitator. So I think it's so nice to hear, as a member of the public in Luton, how you think it's important for the community. And you mentioned the kids. So, I'm guessing, well, I do know that Public Trust is for the whole family. It's all age ranges can come and participate. Farine, did you have a question as well?
Yes, I have a question for Maria. So I think it's great that it takes the creative side of everyone that lives in Luton. It's a chance to get everyone together. So my question for Maria is, are there any particular groups or communities that you are focusing on or you're prioritizing, and why?
Well, I guess the short answer is it's for everyone. So anyone who is Lutonian, we'd be thrilled to have you come and be part of it and make a promise, or even just come and watch other people make a promise, or just do the calligraphy art, or just have a, go away with a beautiful piece of henna art. But one of the things we've been doing is we've brought together a team of facilitators who speak a wide range of different languages which we know are spoken in the town. And what we're really keen is to encourage people who might not feel super confident to sort of creating a promise in English, but would prefer to create it in a different language that's their first language. We've got facilitators on hand who will be able to support them to do that. And we're really keen that this piece, because this piece, I should have said, has toured around the UK. It's also been touring around the US. We're really keen also to ensure that the promises we walk away with reflect the super diversity of the town that we exist to serve. And it can only do that if the promises aren't just in English. That feels really, really key for us. So, as I said, short answer, it's for everyone. But if, it feels like English is a reason why you might choose not to take part, please definitely come along, because we've got people on hand who are going to be super excited to support you to make a promise in whatever language you'd prefer to make it in.
I think that is so great, because the creativity doesn't need to have that language barrier. And even when you're there, the most important thing is that you feel comfortable so that creativity comes out. So I think that's a great initiative. And the fact that you're making people comfortable, someone that from my family, there's so many people that don't speak English. So I know they will want to go if there's people that they can speak to. So that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with that. So this question is for anyone, really. What kind of impacts are you hoping to have on artists? Because you mentioned there are some artists as well that will be there that are from Luton, but also just in general, the audiences and the participants and the community of Luton.
So broadly speaking, this event, Public Trust and Beyond, it really is about ongoing connections. In fact, connections is one of our values at Revoluton Arts. As you said earlier, we kind of take a bottom-up approach, an activist approach, grassroots approach. So it really is about, I suppose, kind of, putting the outcomes in the hands of Lutonians and working collectively to, it's very much about shaping positive futures. And this piece itself, Public Trust, as Maria has spoken about, it's making pledges, promises, oaths. So it really is about, what we hope people will join us to think about a positive future and how we can shape a positive future together. And Maria and team, the producing team, work with a number of artists, local artists, like Paul Ramirez Jonas, who works internationally. So it's always about, again, making those connections and thinking about how we can support the local creative sector to grow and flourish. Maria, is there anything you want to add to that, particularly about, some of the artists working with in those kind of residential areas?
Yes, I guess in terms of, do you mean in terms of our work more broadly, or in terms of Public Trust?
Well, thinking about Public Trust and how, this moment might connect them to other opportunities, or some of them have come through our hyperlocal, residential areas to then work in this piece.
Yeah. So what's great is that the artists that we're working with, many of them come from the areas that we've already been delivering work in for quite some time. But, we really see Public Trust as the first step in the road for the artists who are new to us, and one of the many, many steps further down the road for those artists that we've had the pleasure of working with before. And, every new artist that we meet in the town always fires off, a different idea or a different potential direction or a different potential opportunity that we can, bring to our network and bring to the different locations and the different sites and the different hubs that we're based in. So really the future is very much open. What's so key to our approach as an organisation is co-creation and co-design. You know, we are a proudly resident-led organisation. In fact, Pauline's recently been part of interviewing and choosing and selecting our next cohort of Revoluton associates that we're super excited to be working with from September. Can't believe it's September now already, into next year. So for us, what's brilliant is every time we engage with someone from the town, it gives us more information about the direction we should be heading. We're not an organisation who knows exactly what we'll be doing in 10 years' time, because of, you know, we've yet to even connect with some of the individuals that will need to collectively and collaboratively imagine what that 10-year point looks like. So it's super exciting to have these new connections that have come through public trust, but also to use those promises and those pledges that we'll be hearing and capturing throughout the weekend as a catalyst for the direction of travel that we take our work in order to continue to support the direction of the town moving forwards.
Lovely. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, so I imagine you've done a lot of events through Revoluton, and there's so many, you know, things that happen that stay with you. So my question is, can you talk about any event or any collaboration in particular that you have done that has been meaningful to you? Let's start with Pauline, for example.
So this is going to be my first event, to be honest, with Revolution Arts, but I can talk about what I'd like to see. Hopefully with Revolution Arts, I'd love to see edible arts. So I think food brings people together in a big way, and I don't think there's enough. I mean, we have our community gardens spotted around Luton here and there, but I really would like to see edible arts. Us, coming together as a community. Food brings people together. Getting maybe the little ones to start growing things and have an area where we could grow, and maybe around this time, harvest. I was asking a young person yesterday, when I was young, we used to have harvest time. I'm sure Lindsay probably would remember as well. And school assemblies, like I think it was September, October, and we used to have an assembly. I asked a young person yesterday, and they said they didn't know what I was talking about. They said they don't do that anymore. So I'm not sure if it's done in the primary. I mean, she was in year 8, and she didn't know. But I really, really would like to see edible art. I think that would be a great product to put forward to in Luton.
Yeah, I'd say don't have breakfast, just go on an empty stomach so you can eat everything you want. Lindsay, What about you?
So picking up on what Pauline said, that's a really good point. And we are one of 38 funded organisations and projects around the country. The funding programme is called Creative People and Places, and central to all of the activities around all of these places in the country is bringing people together around food. And, it's a really great way to bring people together. And I know, Maria, it's something you've been exploring in some of our residential programming. So for me, the thing that really, has kind of resonated for me over the time at Revoluton, I've been in post 2.5 years now. The thing that I'm really excited about is our long-term ambition around our new programme called Undercurrent. And it's a programme that was kind of conceived in my first week in post. So we've been talking about it a long time with our partners, Marsh Farm Outreach. And it very much comes from, this way of working we've been talking about, this kind of bottom-up approach of, listening to Lutonians and tapping into the things that, really spark people's interest, imagination and ambition. And Undercurrent is very much about activism. It's about some of the music subcultures that have existed in Luton over time. We're looking mainly at the period kind of like the late 70s into early 80s where the punk movement happened, and talking to people who were involved in the youth-led movement around anti-racism at that time. I think, is so important, especially right now. So something we want to work with Lutonians in progressing that strand within Undercurrent, which really looks at positive action. We're connecting with other communities like Luton, people in places like Luton, starting at the source of the River Lee, where we're positioned in Marsh House, and connecting with communities all the way to where the Lee meets the Thames. So looking at Newham in particular, the demographic communities there, it's quite similar to Luton. So it's an ongoing thing, but that's the thing that, as I say, we're projecting out, putting Luton on the map, and really sharing that spirit of Luton with other like-minded people and communities.
That's great. Sorry, thank you so much. I think I'll hand over to Sonia. We only have like 2 minutes left, a couple minutes left.
Oh, that's okay. No, Maria, because you never got the chance to talk about what is kind of meaningful. Well, you can if you can do it in 30 seconds. But I also want you to give me one sentence to Lutonians that are listening, what Revoluton Art is about, and then another sentence about this weekend's Public Trust fun, amazing installation that is happening in Luton Point. But yeah, don't worry if you talk. We'll edit this nicely anyway. So please go ahead.
Okay, challenge accepted. Revoluton Arts is essentially your local arts organisation, and Public Trust is your opportunity to have your voice heard about what you'd like to see within the town, within your lives, and will then inform how we run the organisation to best support those promises to materialise.
That was perfect. Wow, that was really good. Thank you so much. And we've got some time to wrap up. I think if Lindsay or Maria, if any of you would like to tell listeners how they can find out more about Revoluton Arts, or how they can get involved if they've got things they'd like to share with you as well.
There are so many ways to get involved with Revoluton Arts. I think first and foremost, go and see our lovely new website, www.revolutonarts.com. And check out all of the things we do. All of the projects are on there. The things that are coming up are on there. Maria, you've got loads of things coming up in the programme.
Yes, we do. If you're looking for a family-friendly show to go and see after school, after the first couple of weeks of term, head down to Hockwell Ring Community Centre on Friday, the 20th of September, and you'll get to see a brilliant, immersive performance of Lose the Path, Find Your Way. Details are on our website. We've also got some wonderful opportunities out in nature. We're really proud to be the producing partner for the Chilterns as part of a nationwide project called Nature Calling. If you fancy getting outdoors before the winter nights creep in, then check out our website. We've got a walk happening in Barton Hills this Wednesday, and the following Wednesday we've got a story circle taking place at Wallards Bank. We've got plenty more happening for young people as well. So if you're aged 16 to 30, on the last Wednesday of every month, we run a mic drop masterclass. September's one is with Luton's own Lugus Ceramics. So you'll have the opportunity to do some mindful crafting. And we've got plenty more coming up in the programme for the rest of the autumn. Every time we run one of those sessions, we also look to hear from you, what you'd like to see next, which artists you'd like to bring along. And also, if you're looking to build a creative career, in October will be our next Producer Hub event. It will be happening in Bury Park this time around, and it will be your opportunity to network with local creatives and also learn more about how to build a creative team. We know a lot of people in Luton are individual artists, and if you're a director, you don't know where to find a producer. If you're a filmmaker, you don't know where to find an editor. And we're really keen to support everyone to find one another so that, the maximum amount of great content can be generated in the town, and ultimately that content then can reach beyond the town's borders. But check out the What's Happening tab, because there's way more than what I've just described happening too.
That's lovely. Yes, like we said, www.revolutonarts.com. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you, Lindsay. And thank you, Pauline, for coming on the show today. And hopefully we'll see more from Revoluton Arts soon. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.